Today on Road Trip to Truth, we're examining the dangers behind brain bumper stickers, popular and deceptively sweet phrases that hide their wider and less than savory philosophical associations. This kind of examination may incite you to think, John, this is all super judgmental. You can't tell people how to live their lives. They have their truth and you have yours. But do you know where that way of thinking came from? Do you know what other big ideas are behind the live and let live mentality? If I could show you that bite-sized philosophy is actually one of the most dangerous systems floating around today, would you change your mind? Let's dive in.
You have to live your own truth. What do people mean when they use that phrase?
In a way, you have to live in a world as you see it, do what you believe and follow actions as you see that are true and right.
If you believe in something and other people don't, then you should listen to your own beliefs.
What philosophical system is behind the phrase, you live your truth, I live my truth?
Well, it began in Romanticism, this heavy emphasis on the internal emotions, how we emotionally react to reality. And now it has blossomed into a worldview called postmodernism, where not only do we base our reality based on our emotions to situations, but now we can even determine what our own facts are. Postmodernism says if we take this many of something and this many of something, we can call it this many of something, if that's our truth. And that does not correspond with reality. But postmodernism is what came out of Romanticism when Romanticism wasn't held in check.
How is telling someone to live their truth a really dangerous thing?
Well, do we want to live in a society where everyone's getting to decide their own speed limit? Do we want to live in a society where everybody can decide for themselves whether it's okay to commit murder? Do we want to be on an airplane where a pilot decides for himself what airspeed he needs to be at to keep the plane in the air? I don't think so. I don't think that's the world I want to live in.
You can't tell me how to live my life. Why do people use that phrase?
Because they don't want to be told what to do.
I guess that is kind of like people being stubborn in their own opinions.
They want to make choices that are they feel like they're telling themselves to do rather than what other people are telling them to do.
Why should people be cautious of using the phrase, you can't tell me how to live my life?
Do you really want to live in a society that doesn't govern me or restrain me from just doing anything I want to anyone on a whim? You know, you said, what are the dangers of adopting that? The danger's walking out your door because you don't know what the guy living next to you has decided his truth is for that day.
How is the phrase, you can't tell me how to live my life, actually hypocritical?
Because when I make that statement, if I tell you, you can't tell me how to live my life, I am telling you how to live your life. I'm giving you rules. I'm now setting parameters that you have to exist and operate in. So when I take the stance of, you're not going to tell me what to do, I'm actually telling you what to do.
All truth is valid truth. What do you think about that phrase?
I think everyone has their own truth and their own perspective, and I think we're living in an age where the absolute truth is becoming more distorted because of facts and alternative facts.
Whatever people find to be true for themselves can be their own truth, as opposed to there being a truth that's outside of ourselves.
How is telling someone all truth is valid truth dangerous?
I think what you're probably asking is, are all truth claims valid truth? And they're not. There are all kinds of claims to truth that prove to be not true. Let's take racism as an example. You know, in times past, our culture was very open to racism. It was the norm. We've learned that over time, that's a very wrong way to look at life. It's a very wrong way to look at people. Yet the people from those generations would claim, no, this is the truth. People of different skin colors shouldn't be married. People of different skin colors shouldn't have this job or be paid this much. Well, that's just wrong. We know that's wrong. And just because someone claims that doesn't make it true.
Why is postmodernism so prevalent and so dangerous?
Well, it's so prevalent because we are all creatures who want to elevate self. We're all creatures who prioritize us. It's me, me, me. And a philosophy that adheres to that is not going to have any problem catching on. People want to believe that. They want to hear that. Why it's so dangerous is the things we've been talking about. It just devolves into anarchy. Everybody gets to make their own laws, their own rules. They get to decide how they can act, get away with in society, and everything just falls apart.
Over the past 30 years, postmodernism has eaten away at any shared value system in the West. Everyone can do whatever they want because we are autonomous beings who live for ourselves and define our own reality. But clearly, that's dangerous. If everyone lived by their own definitions for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, we'd have a hard time keeping society safe and stable. On a smaller scale, applying this philosophy to your next midterm, you could just explain to your professor that his idea of a failing grade is simply his truth. And for a lot of people, this critique of postmodernism makes sense because we observe that there are actually moral absolutes. We all know murder and rape are wrong. We all know that racism and sexism are wicked in all places and at all times, even if you call it your truth. Everyone operates as if there's an objective moral framework that's true in all times and in all places because there is an objective moral framework that's true in all times and in all places. But where does that moral framework come from? It comes from the single biggest philosophical influence on the Western world. What system is that? Next.